And to officially start our meeting, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Batchelor, would you present?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Officially start our meeting this morning. We are going to go to item B, which is the approval of the regular session minutes of February 8th, 2021. Board, we've had the opportunity to review these since last Friday. Are there any questions or concerns?
None.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a second.
I'll second.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes. Our consent agenda has been prepared for us in advance. We've had the time to review it. Are there any concerns or questions regarding the consent agenda?
None.
None.
Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
I have a second.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes. Consent agenda starts on page 2 with item number 2. This is a recommendation that the Board of County Commissioners adopt resolution number 020-21, resolving to approve payment to vendors in the total amount of $777,708.53 as set forth in the BCC approval invoice report for checks dated February 10th, 2021. The BCC is directed prepaid invoices reports and/or the procurement card transaction report as presented by the county auditor on February 9th, 2021, and further authorizing the county auditor to issue the warrants for the same pursuant to Section 319.16 of the Ohio Revised Code. Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes. Item number 3, Department of Job Family Services. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Commissioners. Item number 3 is a recommendation of myself and with the concurrence of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to acknowledge the electronic receipt of a grant award on January 21st, 2021 from the U.S. Department of the Treasury, located in Washington, D.C., identified as OMB number 1505-060266, relative to the receipt of funding for the implementation of the Emergency Rental Assistance Program in Clermont County, Ohio, for the purpose of assisting households that are unable to pay rent and utilities due to the COVID-19 pandemic in the amount of $6,162,104.70, with no local match required therefore, effective upon execution through December 31st, 2021, as well as to acknowledge the ERA application relative thereto, previously executed by Claire B. Corcoran, President of the Board of County Commissioners, on January the 11th, 2021, and electronically submitted to the U.S. Department of the Treasury by the Department of Job and Family Services on January 11th, 2021, therefore.
Board, you've heard the reading of the recommendation to acknowledge the electronic receipt of a grant award on 1/21/2021 from the U.S. Department of Treasury and acknowledge the ERA application relative thereto, which was previously executed by this board, and it is for the Emergency Rental Assistance ERA program in the amount of $6,162,104.70. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes. Item number 4, Tim.
Item number 4 is also my recommendation with the concurrence of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to execute the sub-grant agreement by and between the Board of Clermont County Commissioners, the Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services, and Clermont County Community Services Incorporated for the provisions of Emergency Rental Assistance Program services to the residents of Clermont County, Ohio. in households that are unable to pay rent and utilities due to the COVID-19 pandemic, in accordance with the scope of services attached thereto and incorporated therein as Exhibit 1, for a total amount not to exceed $6,162,104.70, effective upon execution through March 31st, 2022, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein, and contingent upon the release of required purchase relative thereto. Commissioners, the Clermont County Community Services Incorporated, as you're aware, is the community action agency for the county. This is where the state portion of the ERA that the state of Ohio got from the Department of Treasury, they have granted with all community action agencies. So we're following the same suit. They're equipped to handle this type of grant and administering this type of grant. So that's why I'm requesting a sub-grant agreement with Clermont County Community Services.
Board, you've heard the recommendation to accept the sub-grant agreement by Job and Family Services and Clermont County Community Services for the provision of the Emergency Rental Assistance Program services to the residents of Clermont County, Ohio. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any concern or discussion this morning?
Tim, where will the Clermont County Community Services Incorporated Group, where are they physically located?
They are, Commissioners, they're located over on Hospital Drive, right next to the hospital.
Okay. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes. Tim, thank you and your staff for all the work on getting this grant. What a wonderful thing this is for the county.
It is. Thank you for your support, Commissioners, and looking forward to getting this money out to the families that need it, and of course the landlords that are, have not received payments in quite some time, as well as the utility companies. So
Great.
thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Tim.
Item number 5, Department of Economic Development.
Good morning, Sherry Smar,
Morning.
Community and Economic Development. Item number 5 is a recommendation of Michael McNamara, Director, Department of Community and Economic Development, with the concurrence of Greg Bickford, Assistant County Administrator, to authorize Claire B. Corcoran, President of the Board of County Commissioners, to execute the grant agreement by and between the County of Clermont, Ohio, and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, Columbus Field Office, Office of Community Planning and Development, located at 200 North High Street, Columbus, Ohio, including all understandings and assurances relative thereto, for the provision of funding for grant number B-20-UC-39-0010, relative to the fiscal year 2020 U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Community Development Block Grant Program for the County of Clermont County, Ohio, in the amount of $974,086 for the grant period beginning July 1, 2020 through September 1st, 2027, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein, and in concert with the application for federal assistance ratified by the Board of County Commissioners on June 16, 2020.
Board, you've heard the reading of the recommendation to execute the grant agreement between Clermont County, Ohio, and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for the provision of funding for the grant number B-20-UC-39-0010 relative to the fiscal year 2020 U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Community Block Grant Program. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second?
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes. Item number 6.
Item number 6 is a recommendation of Michael McNamara, Director, Department of Community and Economic Development, with the concurrence of Greg Bickford, Assistant County Administrator, to authorize Claire B. Corcoran, President of the Board of County Commissioners, to execute the grant agreement by and between the County of Clermont, Ohio, and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, Columbus Field Office, including all understandings and insurances relative thereto for the provision of funding for grant number B-20-UW-39-0010 relative to the fiscal year 2020 U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Community Block Grant CARES Act CDBG-CV program for the County of Clermont, Ohio, in the amount of $573,023 for the grant period beginning 7/1/2020 through September 1st, 2027, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein, and in concert with the application for federal assistance ratified by this board on June 16th, 2020.
Board, you've heard the reading of the recommendation to execute the grant agreement between Clermont County, Ohio, and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development relative to the fiscal year 2020 U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Community Block Grant CARES Act program in the amount of $573,023. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes. Item number 7. Thank you, Sherry.
Thanks, Sherry.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, Mary.
Mary Raines from Office Management and Budget. Item number 7 is a request to increase the 2021 annual appropriations in accordance with 570540, the revised code, for the local coronavirus relief fund in the amount of $713,052.83, and the emergency rental assistance fund in the amount of $6,162,104.70. And these are both related to the CARES Act funds.
Board, you've heard the recommendation by Mary Raines, Director of Office of Management Budget, to increase for both of the grants. Is that correct? Okay, for the local coronavirus relief fund, the emergency rental assistance fund. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes, thank you, Mary. Good morning to you. Any good news at all on budget or anything?
Well, let's see. Casinos came in. I just looked at that this morning, and they're down a bit from last January, but they're a lot better than they were towards the end of last year.
Okay.
And the sales tax looks to be doing well,
Good.
like a 4% or something like that was what we'll probably see when we see it come in next week.
Great.
Non-auto looked promising, but I was really surprised in auto. Were you, did that surprise you, or are we in that month where?
I didn't expect it to be up so much,
I didn't either.
so
We're rolling on that.
Yeah, it was like, what, 8.6?
8%,
Yeah.
right?
Unbelievable.
Well, that's good news.
So, yeah, it's
very
still,
good
it's still
news.
tracking above what our estimate was, which is good.
Great.
Casinos is, for January, is down like 8%, and we put in a 2% increase, so hopefully things will pick back up.
So intergovernmental is still down?
And our
We're
government
still
is
off the
still
mark.
down.
Yep.
Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Moving to item E, are there any additions to the agenda this morning?
Ma'am.
Hearing none. Item F, at this time we're requesting to go into executive session pursuant to Section 121.22 G1 of the Ohio Revised Code to consider the appointment, employment, or compensation of one or more public employees. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes. We will now move into executive session, and we will return shortly. Thank you. We returned from executive session. No decisions were made in that session. We're moving on to item G, county staff, elected officials discussions.
Commissioners, before moving on to that item, I'd like the board to consider or reconsider item number 4 on the agenda, which is a sub-grant agreement between the board and Clermont County Community Services.
We moving to item 4, reconsideration for a vote on that.
I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion that we rescind Article 4 on today's agenda, that the recommendation of Timothy Dick, Director of Department of Job and Family Services, with the concurrence of Mr. Igle, County Administrator, to execute a grant agreement between the Clermont County Board of Commissioners, the Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services, and the Clermont County Community Services Incorporated for the provision of emergency rental assistance to the residents of Clermont County and households that are unable to pay rent and utilities due to COVID pandemic, in accordance with the scope of services attached herein and incorporated as Exhibit 1, for a total amount not to exceed $6,162,104.70, effective upon execution through 3/31/22, pursuant and in compliance with the terms set forth and contingent upon the release of the required purchase order, be rescinded. That's my motion.
I will second that motion. Can you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Okay.
Commissioners, if you would please consider the item number 4, the recommendation of Mr. Dick, Director of Department of Job and Family Services, and this is a sub-grant agreement between the board and Clermont County Community Services, Inc., which are for the payment of rent and utilities due to the COVID-19 pandemic, as stated in the agenda.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second that. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor,
I will abstain.
Are there any other items, sir?
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now we'll move to item G, which is county staff elected officials discussions. Are there any this morning?
No, ma'am.
Hearing none, we will move to item H, which is member comments. Any comments this morning from the board?
None here?
None?
None.
That's good. We're moving on. Okay. Well, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes. We thank everyone for joining us this morning. Please be safe out there and take care of your loved ones.